Hello friends, now I am going to start advantages and limitations of partnership firms. In the chapter number 5 we are discussing mainly about business organizations in different forms. Earlier we have discussed about sole proprietorship, then we discussed about Hindu undivided family structure. Then we started to discuss about partnership, its characteristics we have discussed. Now I want to discuss its advantages and limitations here with you. So the first point is advantages. Right? Advantages means benefits. What the person can get in partnership which is somehow difficult in sole proprietorship, that I want to say. So here actually when I am discussing advantages of partnership, I will try to constantly keep in your mind about this possibility in the sole proprietorship is not there. So in that way you get the idea about comparison also. Okay, we can start here. The first point is in advantages or benefits, easy and less expensive process of establishment. See, any proprietorship is easily established because orally or in written way, both the way partnership could be started, right? So it is less expensive. See, less expensive in compared to company establishment, that you remember. Okay, so here I will make the comparison. Okay, is it not? It is not given in your book, but I am just making the compare that partnership firm is easily possible to establish. Just two persons agree in oral way or in a written way, anyhow. Okay, in establishment process nothing is required to be followed as a special process of law. Okay, if anybody asks, if the registration is not done, then what? Okay, just by committing each other, giving promise each other that we will work as a partner, the work may be started. But when they are going to bank, they both need to put a simple document in which both have signed that they are partners. No more registration process will be followed here. That we all need to understand. Okay, if the registration is done, it is advisable. So in future any legal proceedings may start, it could come in use for the benefit, right? Benefit of the firm. Okay, and benefit of either all partners, right? So this is the advantage of partnership firm, that it could start in the less expensive way. No special process of law is required. Even registration is also not required, but it is advisable. So its establishment is very much easy, as like the sole proprietorship. Just, but for the banking purpose, a written document signed by all partners is necessary to present before the bank authority. Okay. Second point, efficient management. See, sole proprietorship is run by only one person. So in that situation, the person can take immediate decision. That is the benefit of it. But here, the knowledge will come better skill will come, the experience will come, and it will make the management more efficient. In sole proprietorship, that is not possible because it is run by only one person. So, in that situation, the management in partnership is making it more efficient because every partner is taking personal interest and taking care in their personal way for firm because everyone is getting share in profit of the firm. Right, my friends? So keep in your mind, every person is getting benefit from the firm. That we all have to understand. So they are trying to give their best as the skillful managers. Okay. One thing more. Uh, Here partners are working as the owner. So all partners will keep their direct control over employees, and firm will be managed very easily, efficiently, so neither any confusion may arise in functioning of partnership firm. Right, my friends? Okay. Third point is increase goodwill and credit worthiness. Now the question come here. Generally, if the sole selling partnership is there, in case of that sole partnership, sole proprietorship, sometime in financial crisis, the support is somehow less possible. But if the partnership is there, partners own credit will give support to the company, and company will trust other company, I mean to say, and other companies will trust to lend money, to give goods to sell on credit, because here not only one proprietor but more than one proprietor or the owners are in the same company. So in that situation, partnership makes easy for partnership makes condition easy for creating goodwill and creating credit worthiness. So here it is not possible in sole proprietorships. Sometime I not want to say that sole proprietorship is not good, but sometime some confusion may arise in days of crisis, which is not here possible. Right, my friends? Okay. Sometime if the unavoidable circumstances may come, all partners can fight together against it. So that is a matter of the strong team. So in that way also they can fight in better condition together. Okay. The fourth point is more capital generation. In sole proprietorship, we have studied that only one person is handling and having the ownership, so the capital comes less, and if he want to generate more capital, he has to borrow the money from market. But here more than one owners are joining the firm, so in that situation they will come with their own capital, and the more capital generation become possible. It will make the development of company more better. So here we have to remember that the partners create or generate more capital. That is the good thing, right? So here, as I have told earlier, that credit worthiness. So in future, when the more than one owners are in the same company, then and there the credit will be created more, and that the uh, repayment of the borrowed money become easy, because the market will trust more them, right? Okay. The fifth point is advantage of division of labor. See, when more than one owner is in the firm, it becomes the partnership firm, because it is established under Indian Partnership Act. So all partners will show their skill to run the business. By allotting the work to the partners, working is done properly according to their abilities and experiences. The work is done and division of labor is being followed here, because every partner is working with their own skill. So they will do the work whatever their skill is. Sometime one partner is handling the accounting section, another partner is handling the production unit, another partner is handling the marketing section. So they can work together and can give best experience to the company. So in that situation, such distribution of work or division of work makes the work experience based, skill based, intelligence based, and performance based. So this is the benefit of division of labor in partnership firm. The next one is proper decisions. See, in partnership, neither any decision is taken by absolute one person. So it makes sometime work more better, because in sole proprietorship we can understand that only one person is taking decision, so there may be possibility of wrong decision. But in case of partnership, I want to say that this possibility of wrong decision is becoming very less. Why? Because all partners are taking decision by collective responsibility, by making enough thinking and consulting to each other. They are taking decision when it is necessary. But one thing more, that this decision become easy. Okay, it takes some more time because the discussion is going on, so immediately it is taking more time, but it is becoming more easy and very strong, and perfect decision is possible in case of partnership firm, right my friends? So the proper decision is taken here. Okay, the seventh point is flexibility. Flexibility means the changing in the environment is possible. Changing in the environment means if any situation is changed, the management and structure is possible to change easily, because they have to mutually take a decision. So nobody other will come in interfering the matter. As like the company now, they have not to call the board meeting, they have not to call the urgent meeting of the board, they have not to call the general meeting. Nothing is necessary, because here only partners are deciding together. So any changing situation will make the work easy to take the decision. So here we all remember that every partner is voluntarily joined the firm. So nobody is making any kind of the restriction or force to be convinced or not to be convinced. Everything is possible by his own willingness. That is the matter of main point to talk. Right, my friends? So easily any change is possible to accept or admire. Now the eighth point is coming, protection of interest of minority. Here the minority means when more than one persons are working in the partnership firm, then it will become the partnership firm. More than one means two, right? But more than two persons as the partner are in the company, in that situation sometime out of three, two are in decision one side and one is in decision other side. In that situation, usually in partnership firm, the decisions are taken with consent of all partners. So it is possible that the work will not be start if the third person is not agreed. Any partner can ask for dissolution of partnership. And remember, this is the dangerous thing, that my minority, if will leave the partnership firm, then will directly affect to the structure and immediately the firm will become dissolved. And it is the dangerous thing that I want to say. For the existence of the firm, always remember in partnership firm that all partners must be same from beginning of the partnership to ending of the partnership. So in that situation, it makes easy for minority to stop other partners as being the majority. So the interest of all partners will be saved in this partnership firm. Okay. Now the ninth point is direct relation with the customer. Every partner is the owner, we have stated earlier. So they are in direct contact with the every employee, and they are also in direct contact with the every customers. So likes, dislikes, willingness, wishes, everything of every customer will come in mind of every partner. So they can take uniformly any decision with consulting to each other in proper time. Now the 10th point is coming, decentralization of economic power. Decentralization means distribution of power. Usually all decisions are taken together, all works are being divided from each other. So the decisions will also be taken as per given power to each other. So in that situation, as per the distribution of work is done, the distribution of power is also possible here. And every power relating to running the firm, every power relating to their division of work, so the work is done properly with proper decision making capacity is possible here. Right, my friends? Next point is coming is less burden of income tax. See, remember you all that in company law some corporate tax are burden. Compared to that, in proprietorship nothing is more burden. But in proprietorship the other problem is whole profit will be inside of the proprietor. So on the base of profit, the tax will be decided. But here, in partnership firm, the profit will be distributed within all partners. So on name of the company, profit will be reduced, and in that situation the taxable burden, income tax burden on such institution is being reduced. So that is a matter of stressless for any company to pay specific less taxation. Okay, in that way, more money will remain with the company's partners. So it's a good thing, and the distribution of profit will make easy for every partner to live their life easily. That is also good thing. Okay, here I tried to discuss with you about advantages. Now I am going to start to discuss the last topic, advantage and disadvantage. The second one is a disadvantage or limitation. Okay, there are 7 points given here which I am going to discuss. The first one is limited capital. Okay, if we want to compare partnership with any company, public limited company, private limited company, whatever we want to say, they cannot go to the market to create the large capital. They may also borrow, but they cannot generate money by creating shares, because in shares the huge money could be collected easily. But in partnership firm, only when the partners have come or joined the firm with whatever the capital they have is only the fund of the company inside of the partners. Okay, if they borrow money, then it is a different thing, but in general term of generating the capital, it is difficult, right? And for large scale business activity, it is somehow more difficult to generate capital, that I want to say. Okay, so in that case, any research and development work for any new product, if they want to do, it is difficult for them. I am not saying that is impossible, it is somehow difficult. They can borrow the money, but borrowing the money become more difficult for paying the interest in days of the crisis. So usually they are not happy with taking borrowed money on interest, right my friend? Okay, second point is unlimited liability. In partnership firm, the liability of every partner is unlimited. I repeat, in partnership firm, the liability of every partner is unlimited. Remember this line. So in that situation, when any decision is taken by one partner, it will be applicable to all. So in that situation, assets of each partner will brought under restructuring of the dues. Okay, remember, only in the name of the partner's own title, the property will brought for paying the dues. Whichever the property in name of their family member will not be brought in paying dues. That is the good thing. Only personal property will brought to pay the dues. Right, my friends? Okay. The next point is possibility of disagreement. Sometime when we have earlier discussed majority and minority issue in advantages, sometimes some partners use these words. If you all are not agree, I will withdraw my part, I will withdraw my part. Optimistically they will use, and they will try to suppress other partners for development of the company. In that situation, the firm cannot run properly when others are not agree. Fully agreeing is always not possible. So everybody has to take positive and compromising attitude. But some partners may not keep the compromising attitude, and the dispute will continue, will create the disunity, will create the harm to the existence of company, and it is the end of the partnership in that situation. Fourth one is a difficulty in maintaining secrets. Now I want to discuss one point. What do you mean by maintaining secrets? In partnership, the important is if the business secrets keep with them in all partners, but more than one person cannot keep secret with his own self. Sometime, in a general manner, if any of the partner may talk to others, it will create a problem for the company or the enterprise to run by keeping secret, because the most important secret could come in public when they are in need to keep it with them, right? Okay. Next one is difficult in share transferring. See, usually in partnership firm, as per the Indian Partnership Act, all partners required to be remain same. But in partnership firm, any of the partner is died, is resigning, or has lost his mental condition, it will create a problem for the existence of company. So here, if the others are not ready to transfer share to new partner, it will become the problematic that I want to share, that I want to say. And yes, I told that any one of all existed partners is died, resigned, lost his mental ability, or not able to work. In all the circumstances, the lifespan of the company will reduce, and it is some danger for any company. It is somehow limitation of any company to remember in your mind. And last point, delay in decision making, because the consultation will take place. So when the situation is requiring immediate decision, it may not possible, right my friends? So in that situation, each partner can take part in the management of firm, and due to internal disputes, disunity, non-confidence of each other, distrust, all these things will create problem in decision making process. So sometime when the crucial situation is passing on for the company, immediate decision is not possible, and it makes harm to the company's image, prestige, goodwill, credit, everything, right my friends? So here I tried to discuss with you about advantages and limitation of partnership firm. Okay,